Hi, this is Ed DeVoe from Revere TV doing the coverage of the Revere Beach National Sand Sculpting Festival. Standing with me is Meredith Corson. Meredith, today is Wednesday, so today is the actual start of the competition, yeah?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what went on this morning.
Well, it has begun. As you can see, all the orange shirts are at work. They're doing their pound up right away. Right when that whistle blew, their shovels are in hand, ready to go. It's very timed, and they're very serious about this time. They don't want to lose a minute of their time. So they started shoveling and preparing their piles and moving the wooden forms onto the pile. They shovel the sand in there and the water, and they compact. So right now, most of them are maybe halfway to 3/4 of the way finished with their pound up.
So, and fortunately, well, the sun's out right now, but we've had a mixture of sun and clouds, and there's some threat of some thunderstorms this afternoon. If, in fact, that happens, what's the impact?
Well, you know, that's the number one question we get. What do you do when it rains? It doesn't do what you would think it does. The sand absorbs it, kind of like a sponge. If we had a heavy downpour for hours, it would leave pit marks on the sculpture. It could, you know, it doesn't knock anything down. It may take away a little fine detail, but as long as they can get back up and brush it with and reach it, they can repair it.
Yeah, they can repair it, so the rain doesn't really damage it that much.
Not really. We use thousands of gallons of water in the process. Yeah. Water is what holds these together. So sometimes rain can be a good thing.
Now, we were talking a little bit about the centerpiece, and as we talked about it in the past, you know, a number of the contestants were actually working on the centerpiece. They've now moved on to work on their own pieces, and you've got a few people still work here. Yes. There's still work to be done. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah. We'll be working on the centerpiece through Saturday. So, you know, not only will they be able to see the competitors in the process they're doing, but they'll be able to see the finishing touches on the centerpiece.
You can already see it from the front, actually, how great it's looking, and then it's going to move around to the rear. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got all the contestants are here. Everybody arrived safe and sound last night. I know half of them were here, and the other group arrived last night. Yeah.
Yeah, we did have a flight cancellation at one point, but we did eventually find everybody, and they all ended up snug as a bug last night.
Yeah. So you must be breathing a sigh of relief. Everybody is here. The event is underway. You know, I always used to tell people, you know, planning these sorts of events, it's like a roller coaster ride. Once going up that hill is all the anxiety. Once you get to the top, I say, hold on for dear life and ride it for all it's worth. Yeah.
Yeah, the top of the hill was last night when the last person didn't get here till about 11:30. So after that,
yeah, there you go. Well, it's time to enjoy.
Thank you.
I hope the rest of the week goes really nice and smooth.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Appreciate it.
I gotta film this.
Over here, there's a kids area where the kids are taught how to see.
Whatever we're doing, right?
I know what you're doing. It's great. Many people will use it, but not think it's live here. But yeah, but it's not on time. Is it one? Yeah.
Thanks. I like it.
Now I'm standing here with Chris Ginto from Key West, Florida, is it?
That's right.
Chris is an interesting character. When I first saw Chris's picture, it was a picture of him and what I thought was his pet alligator. But as I understand it, Chris in his other life does wildlife recovery, right?
Yeah.
Wildlife control. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, people have nuisance animals in their backyard or a pool, and I just go remove them and relocate them. So it's nothing really too out of the ordinary down there.
So when you're not sand sculpting, you're
working with wildlife. Yeah, crocodiles, every now and then. Iguanas mostly. Lots and lots of iguanas everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I do.
So your sand sculpting efforts work. How many sand sculpting events, projects, contests do you enter in each year?
That's tough. It varies. It could be a couple. I mean, I usually just do a couple a year because I'm so busy with the animals. But I'm so busy. I'm also getting busier with sand as well. So it turns out to be a little bit more each year. So I used to do a lot each year, but I just got bogged down with sand stuff all the time. So I kind of stopped doing it after a while, and now I'm back into the whole circuit again. And I'm gonna, I just gotta come back every couple of years, let people know who's king.
So what brings you? I like that. Hey, the competition is ratcheting up. Get ready. Here's the challenge. So what brings you to Boston? How did you happen to come to this festival this year?
I was at this event several years ago, but I was invited back again this year, and yeah, just ready to rock and roll. It's great sand. That's what I'm looking forward to. It's always good to have some of the best sand you can work with and pull off some crazy pieces. So that's what I'm looking forward to doing.
Now, when I keep hearing people talking about the sand, and we talked about how the sand is made, the process of pulverizing it, and Meredith keeps saying about how you guys love to work with this sand. Give me a sense of how different is it from other sands that you work with, and are there any sands that are comparable to this?
Yeah, I mean, it varies. Down where we're at, the sand's trucked in. It's not native sand, and which is common in events all over. Sculptors are getting more and more demanding, but they're pushing the limits more and more and more. And because of that, they're getting more demanding. They want really good sand to do crazier cut-throughs and arches and things like that. Versus you go to a competition where the sand's not as good, you're stuck making little castles this tall, and it's no one wants to see. I don't want to see that. I want to see cool stuff. What can you guys do? Blow my mind with this year. And yeah, this is some of the best. And there's other sand in the world that is similar to it, but every sand is different. It's all some. This you can take sheer vertical, straight on down cuts, and some sand can't, but there's other sand out there that can. It varies. It's all different. So it's always good to come early, work on a demo pile, and learn the sand, see what it can do, see what it can't do. So I know ahead of time what's going on. So I'm kind of cheating. I came early, beat all the sand sculptors here. It's my little cheat sheet. Like, okay, the sand can do this, can't do that. I'm ready.
It's like playing the course before the tournament starts, right?
Exactly. I need to know the playing field, and now I know. I'm ready to get it on.
That being said, can you tell us about what it is you're going to be sculpting this year?
No way. No one will tell you. No one. Have anybody told you?
Not yet. Not yet. Bob was just saying that he thinks of it, that morning.
Some people do, yeah. And I used to think about it all the time, but now I'm trying a little riskier, trickier stuff, so I have to know, at least with my form work, what I'm going to do ahead of time, and then after that I can make up anything. But I try and see, it's always great to see somebody that can guess it. That when you first start, like, oh, I know what that is. That's awesome. But if you're in your third day of carving and you're carving a Mazda, and they think it's a Hungarian piano player, then you're going to lose. You are going to lose.
So you do have something in mind.
I do.
Okay, but you're going to keep it a secret until it ultimately gets unveiled.
Yeah. And most people are, yeah. So I'm fortunate. I know early. Usually I don't. Usually I just wait to the last minute. But now I kind of know. So
now, after this event, where will you go from here?
I am going where am I going? Back to California for sand over there. I'll be there for a weekend. Then I think I'm going to Bogota, Colombia for an event, or no, a sand sculpting job down in South America next month, or the month after next. I don't know. I got to check.
Now I'm curious, I was talking to Bob, and he says he's done events over in Europe and projects in Europe. How does one get involved in these projects? How do you get selected or called for them?
The Americans like to do a lot of competitions, and the Europeans like to do a lot of festivals, and it varies. Because you're doing competitions, if you place or you're up there, you do a good piece, you stand out more, and the internet is the biggest thing. People are like, oh, we need carvers for this festival. Who's doing really good stuff? Oh, I love that one. Can he do something like that here? Or, I like his way of carving. Or is he fast? Sometimes you do great stuff, but it takes weeks to make, and that's another big thing. If people are going to pay you to fly to Italy to make a piece and you're only there for 3 days, what can you make in that 3 days? Is it going to be this big or is it going to be huge? Or, how much detail? So it varies. Word of mouth. It's such a small community. Everybody knows everybody, and, that's just the biggest thing, definitely.
Yeah, one thing that came to mind is, of course, artists, art actors, I should say. People in the theater, they have agents. Do sand sculptors have agents?
No. Well, I don't need one, but if you take a look back here, these people in this pile right behind me, they need agents because they're really, it's suffering, and it's a shame. It's a shame what's going on behind me.
Well, the gauntlets are being dropped every which way.
Going down. I will be the winner for is this 11? 2011.
Yeah, 2011.
So you are speaking to the winner. Right now I thank you for showing up, and I'm glad to be back next year. Thank you for inviting me back, and I'll be here.
All right, Steve Ginto throwing down the gauntlets.